Hi friends, welcome back. Today we are going to solve Codeforces problem Stripe. Before we look into the problem details, I want to mention that my channel is dedicated to help people who are preparing for any Java J2 interviews as well as coding interviews. You will find a lot of helpful videos on my channel that will help you in your Java J2 interview preparation and your coding interview preparation. My channel has over 200 solved coding problems which are taken from previously asked coding interview questions by big tech companies like Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Yahoo, Facebook and many other big tech companies, and those are selective problems to cover important coding questions varieties such as graph problems, binary search tree problems, dynamic programming problems as well as DFS, BFS matrix related coding interview questions, linked list and string related different coding questions as well. So if you are preparing for any Java interviews or coding interviews, then this channel can definitely be helpful in your preparation. So please subscribe to the channel. So let's go through the problem statement of the stripe problem. So once Bob took a paper stripe of n squares, the height of the stripe is 1 square. In each square, he wrote an integer number, possibly negative. He became interested in how many ways exist to cut this stripe into two pieces so that the sum of numbers from one piece is equal to sum of numbers from other piece, and each piece contains positive integer amount of squares. Would you help Bob solve this problem? So let's look into the what input is given. So the first input line contains integer n, which is amount of squares in the stripe. The second line contains n space separated numbers. They are the numbers written in the squares of a stripe. These numbers are integer and do not exceed 10,000 in absolute value. So output is the amount of ways to cut the stripe into two non-empty pieces so that sum of numbers from one piece is equal to sum of numbers of other piece. Don't forget that it is allowed to cut the stripe along the square's borders only. So let's take this first example and we'll first try to understand what the problem is, right? So let's take this example on the whiteboard. So basically what first we'll just understand what the problem and then we'll look into this example. So basically there is a kind of a, let's say for example, I'll just give you one simple example. There is a, let's say two pieces in the stripe, right? One piece is let's say 4 and another piece is also 4, right? So it means that we can cut this stripe like this, right? So left side pieces sum is 4 and right side pieces is sum is also 4, right? So we have to find out how many ways we can cut this stripe, right? So that left sum and right sum are equal, right? So for example, let's look into this given example that they have given us. So first we will calculate the total sum of these numbers, right? In this is basically array, right? So we will calculate the total sum for, so 5 plus 1 is 6, 6 minus 6 is 0, then means 0, right? Then 7 plus 9 is 16, 16 minus 16 again is 0, right? Then this is 0, minus 2 and 2 is also 0. So total sum, let's say total sum, right? Total sum is equal to 0, right? So total is 0. So which means that when we are cutting the left side and right side, then it should match. Basically the total sum should match, right? So how for example in this case how we can cut, let's see. So if we are cutting this stripe, let's say we are cutting this stripe here, right? Then in this case you can see the left sum is equal to 0, right? So this is 0. So and right sum is also equal to 0, right? 9 plus this 16, 16 gets cancelled, minus 2, 2 gets cancelled, so this is also 0. So this is one way to cut it, right? Let's say what is another way? So we can cut it like this also here, right? If we cut it here, then this will get like 9 plus 7 is 16, and this is again so this one is 16, right? So actually we can cut it here, not there, sorry. So we can cut it here. So this one is basically again the sum will be 0, right? And here also the sum is 0, right? So left and right side again sum is becoming equal, right? Now let's say we are cutting it at this point, right? So these two points we already found. how we can cut this stripe. Right now this is the third point. Now if we cut it at this point, we will again find the left side sum is 0 and this right side sum is again 0, right? So there are three points where we can cut this stripe, so that left sum and right sum are equal. So that's why you can find out 3 is the answer here, right? So how we are going to solve this problem? So let me just now revert back this coloring so we can again reuse this space. So I already showed you how we can cut it into 3 different pieces. So first we will find out the total sum, right? So total sum we will find out of this whole number, so it is 0. Then what we will do is, whenever we reach any position, we will, for example, whenever we reach position, we will calculate the sum of the left part, right? So for example, when we reach here at this position, the sum of this left part is 0, right? So and what we will do is, sum of left part is equal to total sum minus sum of left part, right? Left part, basically left part. So left part sum, right? So 0 is equal to 0 is left sum, so left sum is equal to total is 0 minus 0, which is equal to 0, right? So we will just use this formula, right, which means that we are balancing the left part and right part, right? So for example, this left part sum is 0, it means that this right part sum is, how we can calculate, we can calculate like this: total sum minus left part sum is the right part sum, right? So the right part sum will also be 0. As you can see, the 16 get cancelled and minus 2 gets cancelled, so this is again 0 basically, right? So which means that the left sum and right sum are equal, so we can cut it at that point. So this is one point. Similarly, if you go at this point, right, if you go at this point, this one, right, so this point again, left sum, if you calculate, left sum is 0 and right sum is also 0, right? For this one, right sum is also 0, so we can calculate it here. So we will just use this one, right? So left sum, if is left sum is equal to total sum minus left sum, right, which means that is left sum is equal to right sum. That's what we are comparing to find out how many places we can cut this stripe, right? So that left sum and right sum are equal. So let's look into the Java code. After this, the logic is very simple. So this is the example that we just saw here. So this is the input that is given to us. We will take S as the total sum. So we will first calculate the total sum here, right? We'll just iterate through the array and calculate total sum, and then S1 is our left sum, right? So left sum. So let me just rename this as a left, so we will be easy for us to uh, explain. So here we will again go from 0 to n. In this array we will again go from 0 to n, and we will calculate as left sum, and we will check if left sum is equal to S minus left means right sum, right? This is right sum. So if left sum and right sum are equal, we will just increment our count, right? Because this is the way we can partition it. This is one partition, right? So we'll just increment our answer by 1 in this case. So we will go from for each of the index, right? So whenever we reach whenever we find any index where we can get left and right sum equal, we will increment our count, right? So and we'll just answer is the count basically, in how many ways we can split it, right, in left and right part, so that left sum and right sum are equal. So at the end we'll just print our answer, right? So let's just execute this. We should get 3 as our answer. So we are getting 3 as our answer, so which is the correct answer. This is the same example that we saw, and this is the example that they have given us here. So apart from that, I also created one other example. So let's just take that example here. So in this way, now we have 10 elements, right? Let's say we have 10 different elements. So let's just take these 10 elements over here, so I can explain you here. So or we can just go take this whiteboard. So this is another big example that I created. So let me just make it big. So in this case also, if you calculate, the total sum is again 0, right? This is 6 6, and this 4 gets cancelled, 4 gets cancelled, and this is also so this one is 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 is the total sum. So let's just write down here. So total sum is equal to 12. So now let's see how we can cut this one, right? So if we cut this at this point here, the left sum is 6, which means that right sum is also 6, right? Because total sum is 12. So this is one way we can cut it. And you can calculate it, right? 4 get cancelled, 4 gets cancelled, 2 1 3 is 6, right? Another way we can cut it, this one is at this point, right? At this point we can cut it. Here if we cut it like then total sum is again 6 for this part, and this also total sum is 6, right? 4 gets cancelled, 2 1 3 is 6. So this is second partition, and the third partition we can make is at this point, right? This point. So at this point again, if you calculate, this total sum is again 6, and this total sum is again 6, right? So total again 3 ways we can partition it. So let's take this example and again execute the code. So we should get 3 as our answer now. So we are getting correct answer here. So this is the way we can solve the stripe problem on Codeforces. We'll just summarize it quickly. So what we did in our Java solution is that we first calculated the total sum of these all array elements, and then we again went through the each of the index and we calculate left sum and right sum, right? And we'll just compare left and right sum using this way, and whenever they are matching, then we'll just increment the count. If you are new to my channel has a playlist called as Codeforces, which has a lot of solved Codeforces problems explained with Java code and examples. There is a big playlist on my channel called as Leetcode and Leetcode Solutions. It has a lot of solved Leetcode and Leetcode problems with medium as well as hard difficulties. And those problems are previously asked coding interview questions by big tech companies like Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Google, Microsoft, Yahoo, and many others. And those are very important coding problems. They covers all different varieties such as BFS, DFS, matrix problems, dynamic programming problems, as well as binary search tree related coding interview questions, as well as linked list and string related different coding questions. So if you are preparing for any Java J2 interviews or coding interviews, please go through those playlists. They will definitely help you in your preparation. If you like this video, if you find it helpful, and if you like the way it's created with whiteboarding sessions and Java code examples, then please give it a like. Also subscribe to this channel. Your subscription to the channel is really important for us, because that is the way the videos can reach to more people who need help in solving coding problems. They can watch these solved coding problems videos and learn from them how to build the logic to solve different varieties of coding problems, and understand how to apply different Java data structures and APIs to solve different varieties of coding problems. Because the goal of the channel is to help as many people as possible to in their coding interviews as well as Java J2 interview preparation. So if you like it, please give it a like. If you have any questions, please put your questions below the description. Share this video with your friends and colleagues, and thanks for watching this video.